everybody. I think there's no better day to celebrate the opening of another state park.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the dedication of Virginia's 42nd State Park, Sweet Run State Park. Would you all please stand? The Virginia State Parks Color Guard are going to post our colors. Following the posting, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Halt. Right. Face. Post. Colors. Ready? Cut. Freeze in. Arms. Order. Arms. Left. Face. Ready? Set.
Please raise your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this dedication of Sweet Run State Park. My name is Kevin Bowman. I'm the park manager here. I want to begin by thanking everybody, including Governor Youngkin and our distinguished guests, for taking time out of your morning to join us for this momentous occasion. Before I forget at the end, please do stick around. We will have a program led by our park interpreter, Meg, an interpretive hike down the Farmstead Loop. Meg will meet down by our barn, so please do stick around for that. She'll be talking about the history. And speaking of history, this park has a history of community here. And I know that many of you, if not all of you, have been a part of that community. And you have all played a role in known and unknown ways of bringing this to this point today. So I thank you for what you've done. I especially would like to thank Bob and Dee Leggett and the board and staff of the Blue Ridge Center for Environmental Stewardship for the path of stewardship that they created on this property and for all the help that they were to me and our staff in helping us to get to know this park and know what truly makes it special. So thank you. And over the past year, a new group has entered this community, and that's the Sweet Park Ranger team. In just over 9 months, like any good community, we've had the opportunity to get to know one another, probably in more ways than we could have imagined. We've laughed, sweat, probably bled a little bit. We dug a few holes, made a few purchases, and even as a new kid on the block in District 2, we won the 2023 District 2 Kickoff Team Trophy. So thank you to our staff. So to Carl, Eric, Meg, Spring, and Suzanne, it's been a pleasure to serve alongside you. I appreciate all that you've done, and I thank you for embodying what it means to be a Ranger first. I also want to thank our community of volunteers and partners, as well as the many other state park rangers who came and helped us, as well as my leadership and our state park and DCR leadership who've given countless hours helping to get this park open today. We truly couldn't have done it without you. I would like to thank a few other members of the community. We enjoyed good food of the Between the Hills events, as well as music of Joe Desarn on the fiddle and Gina Faber on guitar and mandolin. Thank you so much for your ambiance. So now it's my privilege to introduce our next speaker. Dr. Melissa Baker is the director of Virginia State Parks, overseeing the entire state park system that boasts an estimated 7.8 million visitors every year. She is the 8th director in the system's 85-year history, and she is the first female director. It has been a privilege to serve under here. Would you please welcome Dr. Melissa Baker.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am so excited to be here to help dedicate Sweet Run State Park, Virginia's 42nd state park. As director of Virginia State Parks, I've been able to be a part of several of these celebrations, and it's really exciting to know that this is a state that has so many wonderful resources to celebrate, so many great people taking care of them, and places for Virginians to connect with what's really special about their state. Before I start talking about the area, I do want to call out a few other folks within DCR. So we're going to talk a lot about partnerships today, a lot of community partners, a lot of individual partners who had vision to bring this about. We also have some really important internal partners. So in addition to the great state park staff that Kevin mentioned, I want to highlight efforts of folks who worked through the transition within the agency to get Sweet Run into state ownership. Those external to the agency will be discussed in more depth later. So I want to point out Brian Fuller, our real property office manager. We had a lot of partners in this. It's a beautiful thing when a lot of people come together to do a project like this. It is not an easy thing when all of those partners come in and there's all of the legal machinations that have to be gone through. So Brian put in timeless hours for that. Tim Schrader, there he is, I see him now. Tim Schrader is our Eastern Region Field Operations Manager, worked alongside Brian, and then also Ken Benson, our District 2 manager. They put on a lot of time and effort to get this park into state ownership and to hire the fabulous team that we have here. And if you look around this park right now, you'll see the efforts of that team and the passion of that team and the passion of the entire state park system. Because what we know about state park rangers in Virginia is that they're all going to pull together whenever we need to. And they really pulled together to welcome you to the park today. So I want to take a moment to appreciate them. Now, this park is special. It has so many natural, historical, and cultural resources, and it's truly an honor to be able to conserve them in perpetuity with this beautiful state park. In addition to miles of diverse trails through a variety of rich terrains, it also has a picnic pavilion and a nature play area for children. The park offers hike-in fishing at Gordon Pond, and just a mile hike from the nearest parking area at the end of Arnold Lane. And it's really nice to be able to come into a property that while we haven't completed the master plan yet, we haven't been able to put the full stamp of state parks in, but this is a park that is ready to welcome visitors and is already welcoming visitors. And that again is a testament to the partnerships that created this park. In addition to the natural resources, which are now easily accessible to the public, Sweet Run State Park is also rich with history that will be preserved for generations to come. Beginning in the late 1700s, a collection of settlers comprised what became known as the Waters community, centered around the confluence of the Piney and Sweet Run streams. I had to ask that earlier. The settlers farmed the land for sustenance until more significant roadways, canals, and railroads along the nearby Potomac River provided opportunities for the production, transport, and sale of cash crops such as wheat and corn. And in addition to farming, local residents forested the Blue Ridge for lumber and charcoal. And this was to supply the forges and factories comprising the Federal Armory in nearby Harper's Ferry, now West Virginia. To this day, visitors of the park can find the charcoal hearths, road networks, and other structures of the Waters community. From the 1950s to the 1990s, as the countryside empties, prospective developers acquired the collection of properties that now comprise the park. And I was fortunate earlier to speak with someone who was part of that early vision of realizing that this was going to be a highly developed area. And there were special places that needed to be protected so people could see what this area was. So when you think how historic this park is to Virginia and how developed the area, the opportunity-rich Northern Virginia area has become, it's indeed important and inspiring to be able to see these historic features that go back to the nation's early days. And it's gratifying to know that the history here will remain here in that area in many places, looks like it did to those who lived and worked this land centuries ago. Virginia state parks play an important role in connecting the community to these wonderful outdoor recreation and historic spaces. And we're proud to expand that great legacy with today's dedication of Virginia's newest state park, Sweet Run State Park. With that, I would like to introduce the Director of the Department of Conservation and Recreation, Director Matt Wells.
Well, thank you, Dr. Baker. Thanks to all of you for joining us here today on this wonderful early fall morning here in the valley between the hills in northwestern Loudoun County. Secretary Voiles, Governor Youngkin, it is truly an honor to have you here. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve in this role. We've got a number of other dignitaries with us this morning that I want to recognize. I would ask that you hold your applause as I read off their names and we can recognize them all at once for being here at the end. First, I want to recognize Tanya Gossett, the Acting Superintendent of Harpers Ferry National Historic Park, Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman, Roger Vance, the Mayor of Hillsborough, just down the road, and Hunter Ehrman, who's a member of the Board of Conservation and Recreation. Please join me in thanking them for being here. And my apologies if I have missed anyone. As Melissa said, my name is Matt Wells, and I've had the privilege of leading the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation, which is the parent agency for Virginia State Parks, over 18 months now. And that means that I have the second best job in Virginia state government. I normally tell people that I have the best job, but since the governor's here, I'm going to hedge a little bit on that one today. But I get to say that because every day I get to go to work with a team of dedicated professionals to protect and to conserve the things that make Virginia such a special place, and to preserve them for Virginians to enjoy today and for future generations of Virginians. That's our mission. And by adding another park to the system today, we are fulfilling that mission. Melissa talked a little bit about the legacy of this place that we're now charged with protecting. She spoke a little bit about partnerships, and I want to spend a few minutes to take up that theme, how this park came to be and how we came to this day. You see, parks like this don't just happen. What you're seeing today is a culmination of years, and in some cases decades, of work by an incredible group of people and organizations who have partnered in this effort. I want to acknowledge them today. First, we would not be here today without Robert and Dee Leggett's commitment to conserving this special place. In 1999, the Robert and Dee Leggett Foundation purchased nearly 900 acres of woodlands and farmland on the eastern slope of the Blue Ridge Mountain. The property was named the Blue Ridge Center for Environmental Stewardship, and a nonprofit was formed to manage the land. Jointly, they conserve the property's natural and cultural resources, encourage public access and recreation, and provided environmental education opportunities. In time, they donated 604 acres of this property, the core of what would become Sweet Run State Park, to the Old Dominion Land Conservancy, who in turn donated it to the state in 2016. More than anyone else, we have you all to thank for bringing us to this day. And so I'm pleased to say that one of the first improvements we'll be making here at Sweet Run State Park will be the installation of a plaque that commemorates your generosity in perpetuity in this place that you have given to the Commonwealth in perpetuity. Thank you. From the Leggetts, the partnerships continued. In 2018, Loudoun County provided $2.9 million in funding for a second 280-acre parcel and donated that to the state in 2022, filling out the park's now 884 acres, creating a public space nestled in the heart of Loudoun's wine country that connects to the Appalachian Trail and complements the Harpers Ferry National Historic Park. We would not be here today without the support of Loudoun County. And in particular, I want to recognize former Supervisor Gary Higgins for his unceasing commitment and his tenacity that helped make this park a reality. Between the Leggett Foundation and the state's ownership, both the first and second parcels of land were held by the Old Dominion Land Conservancy, who played an essential role in bringing this new state park to life, working closely with private and local public partners to protect the site. We would not be here today without them. And of course, 880 odd acres and 11 miles of trails doesn't just take care of itself. So we've been fortunate to have some great partners there as well. The Blue Ridge Center for Environmental Stewardship, now called the Between the Hills Conservancy, has stewarded this land for 20 years. first on behalf of the Leggett Foundation and then on behalf of the Commonwealth through an agreement with DCR. We would not be here without them. We're also grateful to U.S. Trail Ride, a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to preserving and creating equestrian trails, who help maintain the trails here. We would not be here without them. Opening a state park takes financial resources, and I want to thank the governor and the General Assembly for their leadership in providing the funding needed to open Sweet Run as a state park in last year's budget. Without your leadership, we would not be here today. And finally, I want to thank our DCR team, our internal partners. By virtue of the position I hold now, I get to stand in front of you and talk about all these great things, but that's only because of the hard work of the team. And not just with state parks, although I remain in awe of our rangers every day, but also with our real property office, as Melissa mentioned, our division of planning and recreation resources, our division of natural heritage, and our division of procurement. It's also because of the hard work of previous leaders in our agency, including my predecessor, Clyde Chrisman. We would not be here today without them. And so, to Robert and Dee Leggett, to our friends at Loudoun County, Old Dominion Land Conservancy, the Between the Hills Conservancy, U.S. Trail Ride, to our state legislators, to the governor, to the team at DCR, and to the countless other individuals and groups whose names I did not mention, but whose efforts each forged the chain of events that brought us here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Partnerships have defined this park's past, and they define its present as well. All of our parks rely on volunteer friends group, and Sweet Run will be no different. We're incredibly lucky that the Between the Hills Conservancy will continue their support of this park as its friends group, bringing only over 50 volunteers to support Sweet Run across all aspects of its operations. Our sincere thanks go to these remarkable individuals, and in particular, I want to thank Dr. Gregory Miller, President of the Board of Directors of the Conservancy. We establish these places for people to enjoy, and that only happens if people are drawn in to visit them. So I want to thank our partners at Visit Loudoun and Executive Director Beth Erickson, who played an integral part in promoting this park. Our parks can be powerful economic drivers for the community, and I know they're going to be hard at work to capture those benefits by encouraging people to visit Sweet Run, maybe spend a little money in the area while they're here. We also look forward to expanding our work with our partners at the Appalachian Trail Conservancy and our new neighbors, the National Park Service at Harpers Ferry. And finally, partnerships will define this park's future. A park is more than just land. It is stewardship, it is interpretation, and it is guest experience. What that looks like for Sweet Run will be determined in large part by its master plan. All of our parks have master plans outlining infrastructure, special features, and the resources that we want to protect. And all of these master plans are developed in partnership with our communities. The process includes public review and comment, stakeholder guidance, and work by the talented team at DCR. And together, they chart the best possible roadmap for a park. As we move forward, we will seek to engage stakeholders in our planning processes. The public is invited and encouraged to participate in this process during multiple open meetings. And in fact, we have a table here today, right there in the back, where you can sign up to get notified. Once this master plan is created, it will be updated regularly to ensure that it continues to meet the needs of the community. The partnership will continue because while DCR serves as the steward of this place, it belongs to the community, to the Commonwealth, and to its people, to you, our partners. This is your park. Thank you for being here today to celebrate it with us. It's now my pleasure to turn things over to the Secretary of Natural and Historic Resources, Travis Voiles.
Thank you, Matt, and welcome everyone. It's a beautiful morning. It was a beautiful drive in. I'm always grateful to be out in the Commonwealth, especially with the team from the Department of Conservation and Recreation and the State Parks team as well. Today is something even better, not only because I get to hear Director Wells and the DCR team telling everyone again how they have the best job in the Commonwealth. Yes, I kind of maybe knew he was going to say that. Good hedge on the governor being here and saying number two. But more importantly today, it's because each one of you and our amazing governor are here to celebrate this momentous day and the addition of Sweet Run to your state park system, because you are the ones that got us here. Each of you know this, and we've heard it from Melissa, Matt, but a lot of time, effort, tireless work went into getting us today. Our state parks provide invaluable public access to nature for people, families all over Virginia. And with the addition of Sweet Run here today, the Loudoun community and those visiting from across the Commonwealth, from across the country, will have access to experiences here in the outdoors that they otherwise would have not had. Something that this community wants and needs and will have in perpetuity. I want to reiterate my tremendous thanks to everyone that was mentioned here today, but especially the DCR and the state parks team. And I agree with the statement on today is on how this would not have been possible without the partnerships that are in place here in this community. That's what really matters. So a never-ending thanks as someone who will continue to enjoy this parks and our park system well into the future, to all the partners who work to develop this outdoor space that will offer important and opportunities that were not here before, really embedded in a recreational opportunities, but also preserve natural environment for generations to come. Because not only will Sweet Run be the first state park in Loudoun County, it'll preserve in perpetuity a biodiverse area in Virginia, a segment of the Between the Hills Valley, which is steeped in the agricultural, cultural, and natural history. This location gives the opportunity for Virginians and those from nearby states and cities a closer gem to escape to and experience the beauty of Virginia, and Virginia's natural resources, and the extensive recreational opportunities that we have here. It's really a reflective, a great reflective park from our whole park system and the Commonwealth at large. In addition to protecting all those natural wonders and more, Sweet Run will only build on the incredible legacy that our state park system have here in Virginia. In recent years, we've seen visitors to our state parks spend over $300 million annually. And of that total, nearly $25 million was generated by out-of-state visitors. Sweet Run will only add to that. I anticipate that number to keep on increasing with the investments like we're having today. And me and Director Baker were just talking about future investments, more to come. I have the privilege of engaging with folks around the Commonwealth as Secretary of Natural and Historic Resources and helping communicate the message that our administration is committed to providing new and expanded opportunities, just like this one today, for Virginians and others visiting Virginia to recreate outdoors and enjoy the Commonwealth's natural and historic resources. So as you can see, what we're celebrating today is a perfect example of those commitments, an example that will be here in perpetuity. So this truly is a great day for Virginia, a great day for the Loudoun community, and a great day for the State Parks team. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of it and seeing us forward. So it is now my honor to introduce my boss, who supposedly has the best job in state government. I'll remember that next time Matt says it without the governor here. But your 74th governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Honorable Glenn Youngkin.
Nice work. Thank you. Thank you. I think everybody should move around a little bit while you're up. You can do that while you're up. So thank you all. Good morning. And what a wonderful morning to all be together celebrating a big step that we've heard extensively about that represents teamwork. It represents vision. It represents shared values. And it represents underpinning future generations' access to God's great wonders. I stand here and I look at these hills, and I was able to stop for a minute. And in my faith, when I see hills, I stop for a moment and I share Psalm 121, which is I lift my eyes up to the hills, and where does my help come from? And my help comes from the Lord. And I hope that people who come here have a moment to reflect in any way that you reflect on the majesty of what we see around us and what it inspires in our hearts and what it inspires in camaraderie and partnership and what it inspires us to do. I think that is what today is about. Matt, thank you for reminding us all that we wouldn't be here without the tremendous contributions and that sentiment that I just described from so many. people have been inspired to do. And I do not want to go back through the long list again, but please understand that each one of you are in my notes. And there is a specific moment for me to say thank you to you. But I do think it's really important for us to just recognize that there are so many names not on the list who have played a huge part in coming together and not just making today possible, but making the future possible. And that is what came together in 1936 on the patch on Melissa's arm. The day that Virginia did something that no other state had done is we opened up an entire park system, not just a park, but an aspiration to have multiple destinations to celebrate God's glory, to celebrate his creation, to recreate, and to conserve. And that's what 1936 was all about. And so we all stand on the shoulders of giants who had vision in 1936 to have a day where we're opening up our 42nd park in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Parks that extend across the Commonwealth to Kipto Peak Park in the Eastern Shore all the way over to Wilderness Road in Southwest Virginia. Parks that invite people from around the Commonwealth and from around the nation and around the world to experience what we all know, that there is no place like Virginia on this planet. Sweet Run Park will showcase its magnificent outdoors. It will be a gateway into Loudoun County, but also a gateway into the fabulous Appalachian Trail. Loudoun County should be pleased because, as been mentioned, Loudoun County will also see visitors come and stop at wineries and breweries and enjoy the great opportunity to live, work, and play in Loudoun County. We're also right near the Potomac River. And I'm constantly reminded of the nation's river, the role that the Potomac has played and continues to play in recognizing the history of this great country and the future that we all share. The park is also steeped in its own history. And as Melissa shared with us, it goes way back. You can see a restored farmhouse here that was built in the 1840s. 19th century farming community is celebrated. And of course, its connectivity to Harper's Ferry National Historic Park should never be overlooked, a significant site in our country's struggle to abolish slavery. And of course, it's this history that we have the opportunity to enjoy while we recreate. We hike, we fish, we explore, we have a moment to catch our breath. And I think often about those many people who hike up and down the Appalachian Trail, all the way up and down the Appalachian Trail. And those of you who haven't done this past week, if you were in Google and you clicked on Google, what you saw was an illustration of the entire Appalachian Trail with Virginia highlighted. And now anyone can take a quick pit stop and they can come right here to Sweet Run, and maybe they can head down the road and visit a winery or stop at a restaurant or just say hello to the amazing people that make Loudoun County so wonderful. And for those who like to bird watch, for those who like to fish, for those who like to just spend the night, I can't think of a better place than the new Sweet Run State Park. As we step back and think about environmental stewardship, I so deeply appreciate the fact that this is a passion that so many enjoy and share. Thank you. Thank you for your passion. I deeply believe in conservation. I believe that we have been gifted these great open spaces and waterways and bays, and we have to protect them. I was incredibly pleased that in the last budget that we signed, the second largest allocation of funds are going to what I believe are an incredibly important moment to conserve and protect our waterways and our bay. Friends, this is a collective need. And I'm so proud to be standing here with the opportunity to share it. Now, the economic impact of Sweet Run Park is clear. And as the Secretary shared with you, the economic impact of our state park system is clear. Last year, $360 million plus were contributed to our broader economy. But it's not just money. It's what comes with it. Because when you think about that visitor who experiences the Commonwealth, experiences the people of Virginia, shares a moment to explore not just our natural wonders, but our history, enjoys a stop through at one of the great small businesses that have been built here. We are sharing the Virginia that I think is drawing so many people to Virginia today. That Virginia has invited folks from around the country and around the world to build their lives here. It's retained so many now who might have thought of going someplace else, who've decided, no, I am going to continue to build my future in the Commonwealth. And I don't think there's a single better statement that should reinforce our collective commitment to the efforts that have been made here and other places along the Commonwealth to continue to march forward, arm in arm, in making Virginia the best place to live and work and raise a family. I'm really proud. I'm proud of the Virginia that I see. I'm proud of the people that I see doing extraordinary things. I'm proud of the statement that is made when a couple comes together and says there's lands that we should preserve and conserve and create a pathway to turning them into a wonderful state park. I'm humbled by the work that has gone on to make today happen, and I'm excited about the future, the experiences, the memories that will be formed right here at Sweet Run. So let's celebrate today and let's dream about tomorrow. And let's most importantly remember that tomorrow will be better when we lock arms in partnership and make those dreams come true, just like they are today. May God bless you. And thank you for the tremendous work that you are all doing to make Virginia the very best place in the world to live, work, and raise a family. God bless you. Thank you.
So, Governor, it is tradition when we open a new state park to present a token of appreciation to the governor.
Let's open up a lot more.
And in the spirit of the partnership that we have, specifically with Sweet Run and how this really did take a community to bring this park together, I'd like to introduce Beth Erickson, who will be presenting something that the community has come together to present to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, Beth.
Yeah, but it's nice to see
Nice
you
to
again.
see you again.
I will say that today I have the best job in Loudoun County because I have the opportunity to welcome you to a place that I know you care very deeply for. And earlier this week, you may not know, that we opened Virginia Wine Month with the official wine, Cornus Virginius, that is produced in Loudoun County.
Yes.
So we put together, it's heavy, you ready, sir?
I got it.
There you go. I was like, oh. We put together for you, sir. It is a welcome basket and a gift basket of representation of all the small businesses, or many of the small businesses, that will benefit from this park. And we could not be more proud to welcome you here today. And I could not be more proud to see everybody here today. And this is going to be an amazing asset for Loudoun County and the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Thank
so
you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You can hold that with one arm. I cannot.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll take that back.
Are you going to take it? Will you give it back to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
I'm going to put it right over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Loudoun County. What a privilege it is. Okay.
Well, that concludes our formal program for today. Thank you all so much for taking your time to be with us today. As Kevin said, we do have an interpretive hike. We have many refreshments. We have lovely musical accompaniment. So please take a moment to celebrate and enjoy the day. We will have, thank you for holding the giant golden scissors, because I almost forgot to say, that we are going to take a moment to cut a ribbon on Sweet Run State Park. So we've got a sign set up back here. We'll do the official ribbon cutting, and then you can enjoy the park.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, let's go. Let's go open the park. Okay, on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.